Hey Overflow, we've put together a quick sequence for you. Amanda in the front is going to offer some modifications. Lenka is going to follow the practice right along. And Amanda right here, you might see her adding a little fun to the practice or an extra challenge. So let's go ahead and get started. Child's pose. Bring your big toes to touch, knees draw wide. Walk your hands to the top of your mat. Together, breath in. Open up your mouth. Breath in. Breath out. On your inhale, draw into Ujjayi, seal your lips. Exhale out through your nose. On your inhale, rise up to tabletop. Tuck your toes. And begin to activate now away from the ground. Front body engaged to release your back body. On your inhale, straighten your right leg and tuck your toes down to the ground. Think high push-up pose here. Toes to your mat. There we go, like a full root. So draw your toes down to your mat. Yeah, think high push-up pose. Activate your right leg. And on your inhale now, draw your left arm forward to the top of the room. Stay here for your exhale. Hug in towards midline. On your inhale, lift your right leg. Spinal integrate from your back toes to your top fingertips. Hug into midline and release. Right leg down, left hand down, right foot steps back. Left toes down to the ground and integrate high push-up pose here. Bring up your left side body. On your inhale, extend your right arm forward to the top of the room. Exhale, hold. Inhale, lift your left leg. Stay here for your exhale. Breath in. Release. Down to the ground. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take what you need here. Yeah, and from where you are, join together in breath. And right now we're working to offer, right, some classes, some videos for you so that truly we can all come together. Bend your knees, press down into your hands, draw your gaze neutral to your mat. And step both feet together. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Bend your right knee, stack open your right hip, and draw your ankle out, roll one way. Reverse your roll. Big hip circles, draw out wide. And reverse. Three-legged dog, and find stillness. Stay here for 3 deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Breath out. Now from where you are, link together. Inhale, lift high and step through low runner's lunge. Open twist, left hand down, right arm high. From your foundation, press down into the ground, lift up to the beams and wide-legged forward fold out towards the right side edge of your mat. So turn all 10 toes 12 o'clock. Lift your hips high. Inhale, draw length through your back body. And exhale, bow. And now from where we are, we have the option, right, to come into power when we link breath with movement. And so really bring your breath into what you do. Bring your breath into how you move. On your inhales, stack your shoulders over your wrist. Lengthen through your back body and high push-up pose to the top of your mat. Walk your hands forward, step your feet back. Hold here strong in your high push-up pose. Inhale. Exhale. Wrap in skin to muscle to bone, engage towards midline and push back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step both feet together. Inhale, left leg high. Bend your left knee, stack open your left hip. And bring up your power from your right toes. Bend your right knee, lift your right sitting bone high, and rotate out your top ankle. And so we bring action to the flow. Reverse your roll. Big hip circles. Re-lengthen, three-legged dog, and pause. 3 deep breaths. Even as we pause, we can build fire to clear out. On your next exhale, step all the way through. Low runner's lunge. Right hand down, left arm lifts high. Yeah, and you can add a block or something that you already have, right, to give access to your pose. From where you are, micro bend your back knee, fire up your right leg with strength. From your foundation now, draw in through your front belly, twist deep and wide-legged forward fold for this breath. 1 breath, inhale. Walk your hands to the top of your mat, high push-up pose. This time, shift all the way forward and lower down to the ground. Cobra pose as an option for upward facing dog. Untuck the tops of your feet. Roll your elbows back, micro lift from the ground. Exhale, release. Plant your hands, tuck your toes, and bring your breath up with you, high push-up pose. Shift forward and lower halfway. Upward facing dog or cobra pose, push back. Downward facing dog, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Ragdoll, step your feet out, hips width distance. Grab opposite elbows. And you can bring a generous bend into your knees to lift your hips. And now from where we are, we have this opportunity, these breaths together, to step into a very powerful practice. Take what you need here, root down into your feet, lift your sitting bones high, exhale, release your hands. Inhale, lengthen through your back body. Exhale, bow, fold, mountain pose, root down, rise up to stand. Set your gaze on a point. 3 breaths here. Exhale, bow, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back, high push-up pose. On your exhale, shift forward and low. Upward facing dog, roll over the tops of your feet, collarbones out wide. Push back, downward facing dog, 3 big breaths linked together. Inhale and exhale. Fire from the ground, press down into your hands, curl your toes deep. And now bring it up to your hip bones to lengthen out. Draw your gaze neutral to the ground, load deep into your legs, and step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, 1 breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Step back, high to low. Inhale completely. Exhale, push back. 2 breaths. Yeah, and we're here, so let's breathe big into where you are. Root down into your hands, gaze forward, and step or hop. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bow, sweet pie. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow, deep fold. Inhale, halfway. Chaturanga, step back. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, last one, root down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow, fold. Inhale, halfway, step back, high to low. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Load deep into your legs. Yeah, and really notice how 3 deep breaths can deepen the practice. Still your hands press down into your mat. Draw up from the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Prepare to jump. Load and step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, chair pose. Utkatasana. Feet out, hips width distance. Right, and we have the foundation for 3 big breaths. So sit deep. Deeper than what you think, to feel into your feet and into your hands. From here, last breath. Inhale, fill up. Stay for your exhale. Breath in. Exhale, bow, fold. Inhale, halfway. Chaturanga, flow through. Upward facing dog, breath in. Downward facing dog, warrior 1, right side. Step your right foot forward, plant your left heel down to your mat. Yeah, and we have 3 breaths, so let's bring the action from your left foot. Turn your left leg into its socket and draw your top left hip to your inner right thigh. Exhale, push your right shin forward from the power in your right foot. Last inhale, rise up to the beams. Inhale, reach up. Chaturanga, down to your mat. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, left side warrior 1. And from the foundation, from gaze point, we get 3 breaths. So you bring the power that you have from where you are, from your feet. Inhale, reach up to the beams and chaturanga, hands to the mat. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Exhale. And we know we're present, right? When we can feel to where we are. Press down into your hands, down into your feet. This breath linked together. Inhale. Load deep into your legs. Gaze forward and step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, chair pose. 1 breath, sit low, lift high. Exhale, bow, fold. Inhale, halfway, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, press down into the ground. Downward facing dog, warrior 1, right side. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, left side. Bring your breath, step forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, all the way back down. Upward facing dog, fill up. Downward facing dog, feet to hands on your breath. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bow, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Chaturanga, flow through. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, warrior 1, right side. Yeah, and this is 1 breath, so really bring up. Exhale, chaturanga, release down. Upward facing, downward facing dog, left side, your breath. Inhale, inhale, rise. Exhale, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, release. Yeah, and if we're going to be in the breath, let's be in the power of your breath. Step your right foot forward, crescent lunge. We're going to really work 3 breaths. Step forward, crescent lunge, all 10 toes face 12 o'clock. From the ground, your gaze, bring up to the beams. Your hands lock on. Give yourself the space right here to breathe fully. Hands to heart center, deep twist. Now we're gonna work every breath, left elbow to the outside of your right leg. From your right big toe, lengthen the crown of your head. Draw out your length, inhale. Deep twist, exhale. Stay for this breath, open up your arms. Option to place your back knee or go for the bind. From where you are on your inhale, crescent lunge, return up to crescent lunge. Back bend your pose, press down into your feet, hug into midline. Yeah, notice where strength comes from when you ask for it. Can you ground through your feet, lift up and back, return. Warrior two, plant your back heel to the ground and open out. Yeah, y'all drive forward through your front leg, 3 big breaths. Yeah, and bring your focus to your breath. From here, flip your front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior, extended side angle, right side. Right elbow to the top of your right leg. Option to place your right hand down to the ground or take a bind. From where you are, link together, right, to what you're committed to. Can you squeeze your heels together to an upward lift to your hips? From your hip bones to the crown of your head, draw length. Side plank, left hand down, right arm high. Yeah, and sometimes 3 breaths, right, turn it into like 5 breaths when you're really working the practice. So from where you are, take 3 breaths. Options here to root to the ground, rise up to the beams, chaturanga, hands to your mat. Upward facing dog, breath in. Downward facing dog, left side, step your left foot forward, crescent lunge. Yeah, and if you need to release 3 deep breaths, release them as they come. Use your practice to be where you are. Right, and that's the power of what we do. Not necessarily being in a particular place, but being willing to be where you are. Hands to heart center, deep twist, right elbow lifts to extend, twist over your left leg. And Amanda right here has the option to place back knee down. From where you are, fire up through your breath. Give yourself the space, to open up. Twist deep, return, crescent lunge, press down through both feet, inhale, lift. 3 deep breaths right here, take them. Back bend your pose, press down into your left toes. From length, go up and go back. Return to center, ground down, warrior two. And sometimes the biggest challenge when we're apart is to be together from where you are. Link together, gaze over your top middle finger. Challenge yourself from this point. Flip your front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior, and extended side angle, left side. Yeah, and so now we know where we are, right? Down into the ground. You can hear breath. Maybe you can even feel sweat. Notice here the possibility of being apart, but completely together. Side plank, right hand down, left arm high. Because when things get hard, we want to come together. So use this moment to be where you are, but link powerfully as one. One more breath. Inhale. High to low. Exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Load into your legs. Gaze forward and step or hop. Feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, mountain pose, root down, and rise. 3 deep breaths right here. And can you notice in your body, from where you are, truly how far we've even come, maybe even in a couple minutes, the sun salutations as we warm the body. Now to balance back out, eagle pose, wrap. Right leg over left, right arm underneath. And so the variation here, right toes down to the ground or your block. You can take elbows to fingertips. Slowly unwrap, 3 breaths, eagle, left side, right foot roots, left leg wraps. And what I love most about a challenge through the practice, to link to one point, to link to breath, is the opportunity to really link together, to really feel what's going on and to get there. Unwrap, eagle, right side, 1 breath. So wrap deep into eagle pose. Root down into your left foot. On your inhale, airplane pose, unwrap. Yeah, and really activate your standing leg. Get down into the ground. Draw your gaze neutral and root the back of your head up to your ceiling. Spread your fingertips wide, pointer flex your back toes. Hands to heart center, half moon. Left hand down, right hip stacks. Yeah, and the opportunity, right, to come together is right here in your breath. Whether you take a block under your hand or something you have at home, or you go full for a bind. Link to breath, inhale. Slowly release, there we go, and bow, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bow, mountain pose. Eagle, left side. Yeah, now it's not 3 deep breaths, it's 1 deep breath. So really bring the power up in one wrapped opportunity and release, airplane pose. Pointer flex your back foot, but bring it to life. Press down into the palms of your hands, yeah, and get down to the ground. From here, hands to heart center, half moon. Right big toe, press. Right hand, root. Yeah, because when we know where we are, right, it doesn't matter if we're apart. We have the power to come together because that's the day we live in, right? So we have so much gratitude for working the practice. The willingness to be here in breath, in strength, in power. One more breath. As you twist open, stack. Inhale, release. Down to the ground. Exhale. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bow, mountain pose. Tree, right side. Left foot plants, right leg lifts. You can keep your toes rooted to your mat. Hands through heart center. Your foot above or below your knee. Now from where you are, 3 deep breaths, down to the ground. Inhale, extend your arms high. On your 3rd exhale, hands to heart center. Right knee forward to the top of your mat. Really pick it up. Draw through your right toes. Lift the crown of your head and warrior three. 3 deep breaths. Now extend out long. Micro bend your left knee. Lift your left hip high. Interlace your hands up above your head. Yeah, and press out long. Handstand hops. Hands down to the ground. Standing split variation, bend your left knee. Lift your left hip high and root your right toes up to the ceiling. If you're taking handstands, plant your hands. Bend your bottom knee. And even look back at your bottom knee to create an upward back lift. Now re-extend through your back body and take 3 hops. There we go. I'm going to be the wall for all 3 of y'all. Say 3 deep breaths right here. And tree, left side. Take your rooted variation. When you find it, now extend up. Draw your hands down through heart center, left knee forward to the top of the room. Yeah, and really give yourself this breath, right, to be exactly where you are. Link together, warrior three, transition through. Interlace your hands up above your head and hug to midline. Notice the prep right here to not only root down from the ground, but now lift away from the ground. Standing splits or set up for handstand hops. And I'm ready for you. Here we go. 3 breaths, 3 handstand hops. Last one, inhale. Downward facing dog, release, exhale. Right side, warrior one, step your right foot forward, inhale, rise. Warrior two, exhale. Flip your front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior, extended side angle, 1 breath. Yeah, bring the power down into the ground on your inhale. On your exhale, triangle pose, slide your hips back. Option to add a block. Option to interlace your peace fingers around your big toe and draw an upward side. Everyone bring the action in your right side. Twist open. Breath in. And exhale. On your inhale, come all the way up to stand and turn your 10 toes to the right side edge of your mat. Root down into your feet. Inhale, lift high to the beams. Exhale, bow, deep fold. Yeah, and we've been here once before, so for 3 breaths, can you be right where you are? Whether that's completely upside down, in a tripod variation, or finding stillness to the ground. If your feet are away from your mat, slowly come back. Feet to the mat. On your inhale, stack shoulders over your palms. Bend through your knees and come all the way up to stand. Pyramid pose, all 10 toes face the top of the room. And you can take a rooted pyramid pose with your left foot out towards the long side edge of your mat. From where you are, square off your hips. Inhale, lift to the beams. Exhale, bow, fold. Yeah, now from where we are, right, we have the option, to really bring power up through this pose. Heel to heel, hug to midline, square through your hips. Exhale, bow, and release. Twisting triangle, inhale, halfway. Left hand down to your block or your mat. Right arm extends up to the beams. Now listen for your breath. Inhale. And exhale. Breath in. And chaturanga. Hands to your mat. Step to the back and low. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Big step forward. Warrior one. Exhale. Warrior two. Flip your front palm. Reverse your warrior. Extended side angle, one breath. Bring the fire up into your hips. Exhale, triangle pose, release. Reach your top arm up to the ceiling. Really reach up out through your foundation and come all the way up to stand. Straight into pyramid pose. Turn your top foot to the top of your mat. Step your back foot in. And up to the long side edge. There we go. Square off your hips. Yeah, and from where we are, we can really get down to the ground and link together. Inhale, lift high. Notice the shift right there as you reach high. Exhale, halfway. Re-lengthen out your spine like somebody's pulling through your hands. Now with length, exhale, bow. Now, what does it take for you to really get where you are? When everything is pulling you out, can you hug back in? Twisting triangle, extend your back body long, right hand down to your mat. On your twist, lengthen out your back body and activate your top hand. Yeah, really get there from your feet to your hips, to the crown of your head, draw length. Deep, deep twist, inhale. Stay for your exhale. Breath in. And chaturanga, hands to your mat. Upward facing dog, breath in. Downward facing dog, breath out. On your inhale, pull forward into a high push-up pose. Slowly lower down to the ground. We're going to set up for 3 back bends, locust pose to start. Interlace your hands back behind your back, or an arm variation of your choice, up above your head, cactus arms. You can really choose to take your variation. From here, link together. On your inhale, gaze neutral to the ground. Like you're gonna lift right here, press up through your back body and rise. Inhale. Gaze neutral to your mat, bring up from the ground. Really be where you are, press down into the ground, open up your chest and release. Opposite cheek to your mat. 3 deep breaths, even in this like quick restorative pose. Switch your cheek, go to the other side. Now with all this movement, all this flow and power, truly where we are right here is release. Floor bow, reach back and grab the outside or grab the inside of your feet. Now activate your feet, flex them against your hand to open up your chest. Gaze neutral to your mat. On your inhale, kick your feet into your hands, rise away from the ground. Big breath here. Exhale. Flip over onto your backs. So we've done 2 back bends already. You can pop straight up into wheel pose or a Bridge variation, right? So Amanda has bridge right here on the front row. Lenka's taking Urdhva Dhanurasana, wheel pose. Same thing with Amanda. On your inhale, lift your hips. And we have the choice here, right, to activate 3 deep breaths. From your foundation, press to your mat. From your front body, activate in and feel how deep your breath is. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, knees draw wide. You can take the palms of your hands, press them into your hip creases. And to really give yourself the upward length. Bring your hands now to the outside edges of your legs. Draw your knees together. Slowly roll to your side and downward facing dog. And this downward facing dog, right? 3 deep breaths to really take in your practice. Our hands have been still to the ground, feet to the mat. Notice how powerful that is for your body. Use this breath right here to really draw in and root down. Step both feet together. Inhale, right leg high to the beams. Just like we started, bend your right knee, stack open your right hip, and half pigeon to the right. Walk your hands back to your hips. Open up your chest like you're gonna grab 2 jars of salsa. Now open up. On your exhale, extend down to your mat. And this is a good place, right, to roll up a towel if you have one or blocks. Place it underneath your right sitting bone or your forehead. Whatever you need to do to create both a restorative posture, but presence through your hips. If you can, deepen your extended half pigeon. Walk your hands forward. Release your back foot. But keep your deep breath. Walk your hands back to your hips for double pigeon. Double pigeon, stack your left shin over your right. And we're gonna create this action shin over shin and toes come to midline. Rock forward onto the tops of your sitting bones. On your inhale, draw length. Exhale, extend, bow. And what I love most about this opportunity, right, is that from where we are, we have the opportunity to really innovate and create, right? Really breathe life into what we've been dealt. And so that's what we'll choose. To be super present into where we're going. One more breath here. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Step both feet together. Inhale, left leg high. Bend your left knee, stack open your left hip, half pigeon to the left. And release, extended half pigeon. Allow yourself to deepen here. Walk your hands back to meet your hips. Make your way into a double pigeon pose. Stack shin over shin. And use this opportunity, right, to truly be where you are. 3 deep breaths to open up your chest. To ground down. And to deepen. Right, and that's what the practice has for us here. Right, and from where we are to come together. And then to come out on the other side through presence. Through practice. Right, not just letting the time roll by, scroll by, or wherever it is, but to truly be where we are. Frog pose. Turn towards the right side, the left side edge of your mat. We're going to set up some variations. Wall frog. Amanda, if you will, turn your feet to the mirrors. Turn onto your back. We're going to take a wall frog, so a more restorative pose. Right, so now Amanda's the option. Amanda on the front row is going to build up. Maybe with a block. Turn your toes out to the short side edges of your mat. This right here is a restorative option. You can place your feet to the mirrors or to the ground. Once we settle into frog, 3 deep breaths. And in here, we like to play, move, and flow. But sometimes these deep breaths can be the biggest challenge of the practice. To be truly where you are and to be there. After 3, slowly shift forward. Paschimottanasana, feet to the back of your mat. Sit bones root, inhale, lift high. So we're going to take Paschimottanasana. Amanda on the back has a full seat. You micro bend your knees. Inhale, lift your arms up to the beams. Exhale, bow, release. You can build up blocks or maybe even a pillow. From extension through your back body, inhale, draw your chest through. Exhale, bow, and release. Make your way to your back. Draw your right knee into your chest, supine twist. Right leg crosses over left, gaze over your right shoulder. Come back through center, Supta Tadasana, arms overhead, feet extend. Left leg draws into your chest. And supine twist over to the right, gaze over your left. Happy baby, come back through center, grab the outside edges of your feet. And from everywhere we go in yoga, practicing all over the place, every side of your body, we have the opportunity to come back to center. Ending on a neutral spine pose, grab the outside edges of your feet together. Inhale. And exhale. Breath in. And breath out. And now from where you are, release to our final pose, Shavasana. Option to restore in any variation that allows you to rest. Palms face up. And we're going to leave the video here for you to take as long as you need to give yourself whatever time it is to come from where you are. As we join together, can you use this practice of rest to seal in your practice?